I had asked you to get Aisha, your wife, on the show.
It would be easier for me to ask Her Excellency Nirmala Sitharaman to join us. The best thing for marriage is separate rooms. Even better, separate bathrooms. Ranveer is not even a comedian. I mean, he's just a guy who smiles a lot. It's not a crime.
No, it's not a crime. No one's saying it's a crime. But I want your view on this humor. What's your take on roast? Do you roast people?
Who decides what's your parampara and sanskriti? You can't decide mine. What is traditional, what is morally acceptable. You can't just have a decision.
Are you left, right, what?
I think I'm quite central.
You are quite
In some
central.
ways, I will be left for sure. Hate this thing in India where if you earn more than the person next to you, you have to say sir or mem saab or saab and all that. Humanity is so bad. You have a Hindu, Muslim, fat, thin, everything is a problem, black, white.
Yeah.
What about, where are we going to stop? We'll never stop. It will be country west versus east.
Welcome to a very exciting episode of Buzz by the Bay. We have with us Mumbai's OG
May I
comedian.
If you say exciting in the beginning, you're putting pressure on both of us. Why don't we go the other way and say, guys, it's an awful episode. Don't expect anything from it. This is like the lowest standard ever. Now we are fine. Now there's no pressure. Now you can say anything after that.
Okay, great episode because I won't have to do any talking at all. But what I wanted to say is now that Gen Z and millennial comedians are being cancelled or have FIRs against them,
Just two of them.
we have
more.
we have Gen X to the rescue. As they say, old is gold. Stoked to have with us once again on the show. You already know he's with us on the show. Cyrus Broacha. Going to discuss the current comedy culture and other relevant and irrelevant things.
Yeah, but I'm thinking Gen X. I'm not Gen Triple X. No pun intended. Because I think I'm older than Gen X. I don't know. What are we?
What
We are
is it?
baby boomers or boomers or something?
No. Which,
Me. I'm 71 born. So
no, that's Gen X.
I'm Gen X?
Yeah.
And Kunal 64 born is the other one.
He's a baby boomer.
He's a baby boomer. I'm
Yeah.
Gen X, you sure?
Yeah, you're Gen X.
I'm
You're Gen
correct.
X.
बच गया सारा.
Bach
I was
gaya.
worried category change हो जाएगा बीच में, but thank God.
You are not a baby boomer. Wow, you're young, Cyrus. You're so young. I had asked you to get Aisha, your wife, on the show.
It would be easier for me to ask Her Excellency Nirmala Sitharaman to join us and may get a reply also. I wish next time you give me a challenge like that because when you were, for the last 10 days my wife's not talking to me. Yesterday she started talking again.
Oh.
Do you want to know why?
Why?
I'll tell you why. I came back from Bangalore about Thursday of the last week. I hadn't slept. I slept 1.5 hours, went to the gym, walked my dogs, came back, took off my clothes, lay on the bed. She said, can you move your legs? I have to take my saris out for some evening thing. So I said, can't you put the saris on that side of the bed? This is why people fight in marriages. She said, no, move your legs. And then she started screaming. It was a lot like perhaps what that famous German guy in the 30s was. A lot of shouting and hand gesturing and all that. I can't remember his name. The guy went like,
oh gosh.
that fellow. So all that started, and then I'm like, but why? You just have to move the saris there. In the end, I did move my feet, and she did move the saris. They stopped talking to me. Marriage is very hard, yeah. If you ask me, run the country or marriage, it'd be really close. And I can't decide which one is worse, honestly.
Really? Got German guy in the 30s. Oh my God.
It's quite
Does
infamous.
Does
Started
your
a world
wife
war.
know you compare
What is his
to
name?
Hitler?
Jayesh or something. No.
Jayesh.
Hitler. That's the guy.
So I really want to know what your marriage is actually like. You say all these things on your podcast, but I'm sure it's actually quite peaceful and friendly and warm,
No, I've said
loving.
I've said this in my so-called stand-up sets also. I mean, the best thing for marriage is separate rooms. Even better, separate bathrooms. Honestly. So, I mean, if you just keep that in mind, you should be good. Because I think it's like the Big Boss, or what is the foreign version of Big Boss, the original? Big Brother. It's a social experiment. You put people together. You put people together and you share things for 5, 10, 15, 20 days. You expose yourself as a human being. So I think marriage in the modern context is very hard because of that. Also for Indian men, we are spoiled by our moms. So much so, you suddenly get a person who's not like your mom and you're like, what's going wrong? Like even on Thursday night of last week coming in, I still texted my mom saying, can you organize my dinner? Because she still will keep the food and all that.
Really?
Yeah, at 83-year-old woman who can hardly do anything. But will still do it because, you're like a mother for life. I think you're a wife for like 3 days. And then you move on.
For 3 days.
It's very different. But my wife with my son is unbelievable. It's the same thing. The cycle continues. So for my son who wants some medicine sent, just bending pillar and post. But for me, nothing. Move your eggs, I want to put my saris. I'm like, I haven't slept, just let me sleep, just put them there now. So really, I mean, why did we bring this up now? I feel depressed. Really.
No, I wanted Aisha here because this actually marches for women achievers.
Young
This
Jagtiani
whole
is
march.
unmarried and now wants to talk to me about marriage. You escaped.
I
all right?
escaped.
So you're left and you know what your friends are going through and all that. So let's not lie. It's not the worst thing. As you get old, maybe it's good to have a companion who knows your name and may help you with diaper changing and all that. And you don't have to pay them. But having said that, it's also, honestly, it's difficult.
But actually, March was meant for women achievers. That's why I wanted your wife here. She's achieved quite a lot.
March
She's married to you for like, what?
That's not an achievement.
25 years? That's a big
If
achievement.
people are too scared to separate, what's the big deal?
Oh God,
That's
come
no
on,
achievement.
don't say that.
But I'll say this about her. She's the talent in the family in the sense that she's actually tangible talents. She's a painter, artist, photographer, and she's very interested in art. I'm actually a wastrel. And that's why I'm disappointed with Samay Raina and all these other guys. They work too hard. They spoiled the name of comedy. I thought you become a joker, as we used to call it, because you don't want to do anything else. You're an escape artist. Now all these guys want to write for hours and research and rehearse. And I'm like, what? What are you doing? Why do you become a doctor with that kind of mentality? What a waste of time. So I'm very angry with the comedians of this generation. Actually, the last two generations.
So you are very angry with them.
They've spoiled the market completely.
What's your take on this whole India's Got Latent? Had you ever been on the show?
Yeah,
Have they ever invited you?
I think we were trying to get on it because my manager said it's a very good show to go on, but they rejected us because of the age. But
No, what nonsense.
But let me just say this, I've said this 250 times. It's a show based on a Tony Hinchcliffe show, which I've seen a little bit of, the American version. And if you see that, I mean, everything goes. It's a roast show. So it's like watching porn. If you're going to watch it, don't act like, oh, what is this? Because, they're going to roast. They're going to be all kinds of sexual, double entendre, religious, in their case, race, national, there's no issue. Everything goes. Here, he's still, watered down here and there for what it's worth. And it was behind a paywall, and it's I'm all for freedom of expression. If it's not your thing, don't watch it. What's the big deal? They're not destroying the country as far as I'm concerned. Who's destroying the country is the guy who's pretending to not know about it but has seen every episode. That disgusting guy should be the one who should be arrested. These are just young guys trying to move ahead in their fields or whatever. And honestly, do you really think they are Dawud Ibrahim level criminals? The way they were treated?
Way. No. Absolutely
And
not.
Ranveer is not even a comedian. I mean, he's just a guy who smiles a lot.
He was trying.
No, he was
to
trying to
match
fit.
up
He was trying
to
to fit
them.
in. He was trying to fit in. Okay, and obviously, if you take it out of context, because of the image he has as a wholesome young man with a slightly plastic smile which never stops. I don't want to criticize him, but I find that when he leans into the guys talking to a girl and does a lot of this and all. But those aren't crimes really. Whatever. You don't watch if you don't want to. So I would like to protect the two of them, even though I don't like them particularly. I don't care.
You don't care.
I wouldn't room with them. I wouldn't stroke their hair.
You won't stroke their hair.
Okay,
have
maybe
you
once.
Have you ever been on Beer Biceps or had him on your show?
Well, he's been on our show once for a little while in a combined thingy. There was some awards or something. There must have been a reason. I've done so many shows, I can't remember anything.
Okay, but he has been on your show.
He was. Like I said, off camera, he was a little quiet, so I don't remember him too much. But I think, he came into his own with his own shows and he was doing a spirituality show.
Yeah, a lot of
Did you see that?
spirituality. Yeah.
Kunal, my good friend who's mentioned 3 times at least in every podcast, he actually watches that show.
Okay.
Not like from a fan point of view or whatever, but I know he just was interested to see who comes on.
Kunal Vijayakar is very spiritual, is it?
He's just a fat guy. I don't know if you want to call him spiritual, but I think he was more fascinated with Kunal has no attention span, so everything is 2 minutes and he's done. But he's like the kind of people who came on. So he would get a couple of, let's say, A-level swamis.
Yeah, but I think that's why people were so alarmed when he said what he said on India's Got Latent, because they associate
Anushka,
it
if
with
you
that
make
spiritual
your mom
content.
or my mom listen to this out of context, it's obviously something that is not going to be a dinner conversation. Let's not kid ourselves about that, yaar. It's for those type of people who want to watch it. Like, do you like cricket? So you're not going to go and watch every test match that's available. It's not your subject. So I'm saying, why are we getting into this? If you want to watch a roast, it's called a roast. You know it's going to have obscene language, obnoxious behavior, whatever. You watch it. And if it's not your cup of tea, don't watch it. It's not like, I don't see the problem.
Yeah, I'm also all for freedom of speech and all
it's-
that.
it- it-
Definitely.
it's a piece-
FIRs is just taking
Let's
too
look
far.
at since I'm son of a lawyer and 3 generations of, and I'm a 1-year LLB. So remember, keep that in mind. If you have no money and you need a lawyer for your divorce case, let me just say what is the conversation there? There's just something stupid like if you caught your parents having sex, blah blah. Would you participate? To cut a long story short, I'm saying you don't take that seriously and literally. It's just making you uncomfortable. That's
Yeah.
it. There's nothing more to it. It's just like how when the boys talk in a locker room, we say all kinds of silly things to each other, including making fun of, making sexual comments about family and all. We've done that all the time. It's okay then. It's not a crime.
No, it's not a crime. No one's saying it's a crime. But I want your view on this humor. What's your take on roast? Do you roast people?
I like roast. I don't have a problem with it. For me, the only thing about the roast is after 5-10 minutes, it gets boring.
Really?
Because you can predict it, mostly. It's not that it's not that lyrical in terms of poetry. Because you can just tell what's going to happen after that. So,
Yeah.
but I think for a lot of people, especially when they're young, it's a format where they feel a sense of, we feel good about ourselves, because of this.
Yeah.
We feel liberated, emancipated, or whatever the right
Yeah.
word is. So I think a lot of people get that feeling. But I come from a very permissive society. Bad language was never a problem. In my family, my dad raised me with only one thing in mind: always bring home the bill.
Okay.
Yeah, so he never, like if you're doing drugs or whatever, it was not an issue. That's my dad calling from heaven. That's Paresh answering. Paresh, tell him that today we won't be home till 1-2 o'clock. Yeah. Paresh is still there. It's obviously not the wife. He's attended to the call. Because the wife would just shut it. I'm telling you, I can tell human nature like this.
You can, huh? You're an
Sorry.
expert. So roast, you're saying after a while it gets boring.
You tell me. What about you? We are from the same, background, if you like, and all that. And what would you watch the roast?
Maybe a couple of minutes. I feel a little uncomfortable watching too many
Fair.
roasts.
Absolutely fair. Nothing
Yeah.
wrong with that. So then it's not your cup of tea. Shut it. It's so nice that I have a friend, Puneet Pania, whose video you've seen.
Yeah.
His dad is a card-carrying member of the RSS. He is a libertine to the left extreme communist who only travels by train, even if there is no train. So, no, but isn't that great for democracy? I mean, even in America now, if you have a guy who's Republican and a guy who's Democrat in the same family, I think that's great.
Yeah, that is
It's just
great.
superb. It's like marrying outside the family kind of thing. It's good.
So Puneet Pani, I've seen, he's on your show quite a lot, right?
Lot. They're very talented. Why do you call him?
Yeah, sure.
I'll
should
send
have had three of us could have another episode. You
Yeah.
and him come together.
Okay, that sounds wrong. All the language.
Okay,
अब तभी से
sorry.
बात करो मैं बुढ़ा आदमी हूँ. My heart is shaking.
तमीज़ से बात
Even
करो.
Nikki's heart is also shaking.
I walked
Paresh
into
is still
that.
worried about that phone call because we know there was something there. We'll do a slightly politically strong thing because that's his.
Yes, I've
And
seen.
when I say politics, I mean BMC, municipality, all that because that's
Yeah,
his
yeah.
thing. That's his whatever the word is. Because his audience is a slightly more intellectual audience. His conversation is like that. He doesn't talk about breasts and boobs and all that alone as humor. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying that there's an easy way out of making sexual comments.
No,
and,
I'm going to come to that.
which is
yeah.
okay. I don't have a problem with it. But I'm saying for his audience, you've got to pay attention.
So you're right. Okay, you're saying sexual humor is kind of a bit of
No,
a
no. One
shortcut.
second. Don't look. I don't want to say like, oh, you shouldn't have smart and all. I have no problem. I'm just saying sometimes it's an easy go-to.
That's what.
Right? Like a lot of audiences when we do stand-up, for example, in a bar, which I've rarely done, but I've done in Calcutta the other some time back. For example, the moment you use the F word, boom, you're getting a lot of support and titters of awkwardness and all.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just after some time, it's like an easy go-to.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, you don't have to really think. You just make sexual double entendre, sexual this, sexual that, and you've got a few people responding, and that's enough because they're loud.
No, so that's what I was going to ask you. You think that people who aren't genuinely very funny have to, sooner or later resort to that kind of humor to get their laughs? Like they don't have enough content.
No, I think that's you're intellectualizing this whole property.
What about dark humor? Like, do you think dark humor also is a bit of a shortcut, or is it a bit of a way to sort of mask your insensitive comments and stuff like that? What's your take on this? And what is dark humor anyway? Are you a
No,
fan?
you do use dark humor. Sometimes it just comes spontaneously. I mean, talking about dead people, I just spoke about my father who passed away. I mean, that could be slightly, uncomfortable. You know me well enough, it doesn't bother you, but with a stranger, it'll be like, what's he saying? So that kind of thing. So, or the fact that I haven't got a Rajya Sabha nomination, that's dark humor. How long is it going to take?
No, but you're not offending anyone by saying that, right?
Because
Some
you keep it personal, you're still offending people because they're like, how dare you talk about aapka maa, your father, your religion, your national identity, community, all that. A lot of people always the offense is taken by people who are not even part of it.
Yeah, really.
I mean, that's really strange. Like, I make Sindhi jokes. I have a lot of Sindhi friends. You will never be offended. Some joker will write in and tell me, why are you making Sindhi jokes? Or Gujarati jokes. I've grown up with Valkeshwar. Does it mean I don't like Gujarati? I don't have a choice.
You don't have a choice.
I've grown up with Gujaratis, Punjabis, Sindhis. As you know, these people have been around.
Yeah.
So what am I supposed to do? There's no communal hating. I mean,
it's
not
not
even close. It's just you're observing and having fun.
So some people think that dark humor is an excuse for insensitivity, especially when you play on other people's weaknesses and stuff like that.
Yeah, but here's the major thing that people should remember as Humor Minister of India. I've just spoken to our leaders.
Humor Minister of India.
I've just got the cabinet posting. Thanks.
Superb.
I would like to thank.
Thanks to Modi ji.
I would like to thank Samay and Ranveer because they were in line for the post and now they've been told next year or whenever. So yeah, but just keep in mind that the humor is first and foremost the idea is to make you laugh. So why is everybody looking for Shakespeare and Premchand in it all the time? Something, just laugh and let it go. It's just that. It's just a flippant remark.
Yeah.
When you say mother, whatever, abuse, I will not abuse on this clean show.
Yeah, please don't.
But when you say bad words like that, MCBC, whatever in
Yeah.
our lexicon, it's not necessarily the literal translation of that. So you don't have to get berserk about it and look at it from layers and go into it like it's a biology exam, man.
Yeah.
And dissecting and bisecting things and all. I mean, there's no need for that. It's just throwaway lines very often.
True.
Why are people taking this so seriously and not the real things? I mean, you have on the same day. Now, this is not even dark humor. This is just dark. The rape of that Israeli lady and the homesteader who owned the place in Hampi. Okay, in broad. I mean, there are people around. They threw the male off the cliff and killed him, and then gang raped both of these people. That story didn't even figure.
Hardly
it was
figured,
hardly
yeah.
there. Okay, so but you want to go on about humor and freedom of expression, very important things, but give it a perspective also. Yeah, but sometimes it's like scary.
Yeah.
When people started calling people like us up to answer like the 10, when it comes to Parsis and the problem with the procreation and all that, and when it comes to humor, they call all of us up and the same 10 people and want the same, they want some feedback.
Oh, you're the Parsi spokesperson, are you?
Not out of choice. Not out of choice at all. I don't want anything to do with any politics anywhere, not even in the building. I hate the building panchayat politics.
Really?
Yeah, the WhatsApps that started, I mean, I can do stand up on that forever.
Really?
I mean, it's so funny because they start with the once you get onto that WhatsApp chat, happy birthday, Jai. Then you got to say happy birthday. You don't even want to ever speak to that guy. Then they pick up fights with watchmen because that's the big issue, He was asleep at 3:15 when I came in. I was just telling you that offline. I'm like, what is wrong with you? If somebody wants to rob the building, they'll rob the building. There's nothing you can do. This is not a profession. Our watchmen are not trained martial arts experts, Krav Maga.
You're there.
Yeah, I'm there. I'm ready with my 2 dogs. Me and my 2 dogs. We have a thing called Aisha. Okay.
Oh, God.
We have no fear. We just tell them. We put up a board saying, my wife Aisha lives here. You want to come? Come. Take your chances. I just think sometimes we don't even bother with what really. I mean, you have something in Ukraine, you have something in Gaza, you have all kinds of rubbish happening in the US in terms of tariffs and all that. All that gets pushed down to some silly pop story about Ranbir Kapoor returns from Alibag. Headline. I mean, not his fault, but yeah.
Ranbir Kapoor
No, I'm
returns
not
from
lying. That's what I
Alibag.
saw yesterday, and everything else was below.
That's crazy
Ask
though, right?
Paresh what's he watching. He knows about this Alibag story.
Okay.
बाकी पूछो यूक्रेन में क्या हो रहा है? Ask him. What's the latest after that whole Zelensky fiasco? No idea.
Paresh is quite well versed. He has to sit through all these podcasts,
No. Paresh, are you on drugs? You'll start now.
You definitely start now after Cyrus's episode.
Do you want numbers?
But you're right, it's a distraction tactic for sure. I mean, all the real important stuff gets buried,
Again,
not talked
Anushka,
about.
can I argue that point?
Okay.
Because a lot of people say conspiracy theory or they're anti-government and this is how the government is trying to fool you and distract you. I don't think it's true. I think we've reached a point where we are so shallow that this is what interests us. So what are we going to do?
But do you think we're becoming too sensitive as a society? Everything is offending everyone.
I think sensitive is a wrong word. I think we're just full of ourselves.
Full of ourselves.
Yeah, who's making these decisions that, it hurts me? It can't hurt you.
You can't say anything these days.
Yeah, no, and mom, why is it hurting you? Because they are doing a show. Stop, get on with your life, man. Earn some more money. Waste my time with all this nonsense. How can you talk like this? Parampara, Sanskriti. Those 2 words you remove.
Sanskriti.
I'm removing those words for 2 years. And whatever the translation in the different languages of India.
Parampara and Sanskriti.
Parampara, Sanskriti has to stop. Straight away they start, everybody, apna parampara mein nahi hai, apna Sanskriti mein nahi hai. Who decides what's your parampara and Sanskriti? You can't decide mine. What is traditional, what is morally acceptable. You can't just have a decision.
Who's sanskari? Who's
I think
not?
raping a foreigner is a much worse thing than some guy making some silly comments trying to get a few laughs.
No, I agree with you. There are actually real issues that have to be dealt with. But now everybody, and from all sides of the spectrum, everybody's offended. Someone says something about Holi. Someone says there's a fashion show in Kashmir. There's a,
Anushka, I'll tell you my story.
Yeah.
We did a Diwali thing because my manager keeps telling me to do these things and all. So I was in Alibag, Happy Diwali, and I'm doing it in my usual fake way. And I tell Aisha, who's a little bit sometimes introverted and doesn't like to talk, Aisha, please say Happy Diwali. Don't tell me what to say. So this was not because she's anti-Diwali. It's because she got irritated that I'm telling her what to say, which happens is a normal conversation. The way she got trolled after that, you have no idea.
Really?
Yeah, leave the country and all that. They didn't understand.
Oh my God.
Or they decided to take a issue, the few that did. But there were quite a few of them, and they never said anything bad about me.
They never
I was a Deshbhakt. Sorry about that. I was Happy Diwali, big smile, towel, no clothes. Typical Indian male from the Maurya Empire. Walking around. Happy Diwali, yo!
Oh my God.
Back in Pataliputra.
You're quite universally loved. I'm surprised you've never gone to trouble.
No, I also get trolled, but I don't look at them, so I don't know.
You don't look at the trolls.
No, I don't. See, you can't get into that. Kunal got very touchy because he ate a forbidden meat with Ranbir Kapoor in some episode. And they abused him, his fan base or whatever, trolls or whatever, about how it became anti-Hindu. But when the trolling happens, there's like a group that the same group seems to do it or whatever. So he was all hurt and upset because all the MC, was a lot of crass words were used unnecessarily. And so I told him, but why are you getting involved? It's a very cowardly kind of thing to do, no? Because they are faceless, nameless people.
Yeah.
So what's the point of you can't, what's the point?
Have you ever had an FIR filed against you?
We had let's say a couple during our week that wasn't thing, not for Insta, but for a week that wasn't, definitely we had a couple.
FIR?
Well, one FIR. It's a long story.
Why? Okay.
One chief minister objected. Now, I don't want to get into it. It's all done.
Okay, please name the chief minister.
I won't name it.
Okay,
The chief minister is no more. Not no more chief minister, no more.
No more. Okay.
But anyway, yeah. So that'll all go into my book. When I'm about 84 years old and I feel I'm reaching the last few inches of life, that time I'll write my Ranveer Allahabadiya story. By that I mean, I'll tell all.
But listen, Parsis live damn long. You might live till about 100 and...
This is black humor.
It's like
It's almost cursing, like, how
124.
How dare you live so long?
No, I'm not.
It's against our Sanskriti and Parampara. You can't allow it.
I'm saying at least wait till you're about 94 to write the book.
You think I'll live till 94?
I mean,
Wow.
Parsi,
What
look
will
at
I
a
do?
Parsi track record.
What will I do till 94? I don't even drink anymore. How do I pass time?
Why did you stop drinking?
I got diabetes, and before that, anyway, my daughter got angry with me. She was very young, like, I got very drunk all the time, yeah. So I had to stop. I couldn't control.
So you haven't touched alcohol for how long?
I've nursed the odd beer when we've gone
Really?
out of the country because it looks, in Caucasian cultures, it looks really bad when you don't. So I get that 3% alcohol and pretend, I'm drinking a lot. But that's it. But no, really no.
No.
Extreme personality syndrome issues. So no point. Because you can't control, then don't.
Real extreme personality.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
miss
yeah.
it.
Not really. I miss Friday night from Parampara. I see you, I miss it because then the recalls happen of people, times and all that. But other than that, I'm okay. I go back to my hermit life and, sit in my cave and watch the trolls.
Watch the trolls.
Troll army attack Aisha. Attack Aisha for no reason.
Oh God.
Say bad things and spell the bad language correctly for God's sake. Thoda time le lo isme.
The grammar also.
Yeah, PHUCK and all this, what is this nonsense? Yeah. I mean, I'm not against Bengali as a language or anything, but hello, half the time your mood will go in completely what you're trying to say. Yeah.
Oh, when you started off at MTV and, Bakra and all that, were we as sensitive as a society? We never had the internet.
The internet changed everything because even film stars, now they can take on the person who's reviewing them. And you can see that happen or produce, like I remember Subhash Ghai, one of these guys towards about 10 years back, was the first guy to really write a stinker back. Because suddenly you can't do anything because it's like two ways, no? Before it was a one-way process with media.
Yeah.
So in that sense, I mean, this is the world we've inherited now. So we wouldn't know. But we would get a lot of criticism in Bakra on being like, what is the right word to say? That we're attacking people from a different economic group. Okay, but the truth of the matter is, that when you shoot on the road, for example, you're just exposed to more people from
Yeah.
lesser economic group. And secondly, whenever we try to shoot with people like you, very often they would say yes and then ask us not to air it because they feel a sense of shame or worry and all
Oh
that.
gosh.
That would happen.
What do you mean people like me? I wouldn't have asked you.
No,
to
I'm
marry.
from this side of
Yeah.
society,
Okay,
I'm saying, you know,
fine.
I can't point to Nikki, they can't see her. And no point. But yeah, I mean, so that was, but I felt that was a little a correct criticism.
You know, I saw an episode you did with Amitabh Ghosh, and I was really surprised that that's not your regular type of guest.
No, but see, when it comes to authors and all that, because we're also owned by Pratilipi, so authors are a must for us to do. And he's a huge name.
Huge name.
And he was great, honestly. He scared the hell out of me, except for one beautiful thing he said, Anushka, and please, this is something that's going to upset you. Malba Hill is the only thing that will be left standing in 2050 or 40. And so I'll be alive.
And
And
I'll
you
be
guys
there.
will all be underwater.
Yeah.
Well, you can
totally.
swim as long as you can. You want to shout, Cyrus, Broacha! And I'll be, what? I already got one, Aisha. No more. These guys are the real deal. Amitabh Ghosh and we had Sahil Tripathi on, who's also, you know, left of center by a long margin, but very passionate. So listen, I don't mind putting right on center also. Just come and talk.
Are you left, right, what?
I think I'm quite central.
You are quite
In some ways,
central.
I will be left for sure. But some things I'm definitely left, like animal welfare and all those kind of things. Although animal welfare might be enjoyed more by the right now.
Yeah.
But other than that,
I was gonna say that.
aren't we all a mix? Who
I
the hell
think
is
so.
really left or right in that sense?
Yeah, but the binary is
We're
become so
pro-capitalism.
strong.
So once you're pro-capitalism, how you left? 100% pro-capitalism. There's no way you can convince me that capitalism should be replaced. Are you going to have that
Yeah.
conversation now? No. Because you can't
It
all
should
earn.
not be
You know, this
replaced.
equality business is overrated.
Yeah.
The only thing I hate is the people, just every morning in the Bombay gym, same people call me sir in the morning. And every day I'm shouting. Now I'm shouting at them.
What do you
If you
say?
call me sir again, I'm going to abuse you.
Call me
I
Cyrus.
hate this thing in India where if you earn more than the person next to you, you have to say sir or mem saab or saab and all that. If you want to say it out of affection, I have no problem, but they say it out of some sort of fear. And then
Yeah.
we create this fear psychosis because he's a waiter, he has to say sir. He's a waiter because that's his job. So it's nothing to do with
kind of
who's above or-
subordinate kind of
we have to-
mentality. Yeah,
we
you're
have to
right.
kill that, man. I don't know how to kill that.
But maybe they're saying it just out of respect. Maybe they're younger
What
than
respect
you. I
for
don't
some
know.
rich fat guy who can't carry his own bag, wearing shorts that don't fit him, a tennis racket which is more than the pagar of the guy's entire year. What are you talking about here? Where's the respect? It's just fear.
I know what you mean, the whole
No, you have to
economic
end this.
strata
Please,
thing.
please, when they say ma'am, tell them to shut up. Really.
I don't want to be called ma'am.
Yeah,
It makes me feel very old.
Yeah. But they're scared to say anything to a lady, so you will be called nothing.
This is a post-colonial thing.
Well, you stop all this and That's
Come
why
on, this is just a
appreciate-
colonial hangover.
CNN, ID and Watchmen, while we were there for 17 years, were lovely that way. They ignored us for 11 months of the year. Come Diwali season for 2 weeks. Saab, carry my bag, walk up the steps, open the door. 2 weeks, 10 days before Diwali and 3-4 days after Diwali. As long as you paid the bakshish on time, thank God. And then straight away, Christmas, nothing, Holi, nothing, whatever the next festival is, nothing, summer, nothing, kuch nahi. And then Diwali coming, saab. Immediately. Beautiful. I felt happy.
The last couple of things because, otherwise I'm sure we could go on chatting all day. But
But that's, even last time I told you, this is my belief. Podcast should be like this, as organic as possible. Don't worry. As long
Yeah.
as people have a nice chemistry and have a good time talking, what does it matter?
no, absolutely. But I have a wedding function to go to.
So I'm so disrespected that she's like, boss tuja. Agenda hai aaj. I don't have time to waste on you.
No,
I mean,
I
let's
didn't say
understand. Paresh bhai, मैंने सच कहा ना. Ma'am has got a lot of social issues to attend to and all. My time is over.
No, I'm not saying that.
As we say in the bar, last drink.
You could sit here and keep
Alone?
talking because I'm sure people will watch for you. So I might have
What
to
kind of-
leave.
I really should be in government now because I'm sitting alone and looking at camera and hoping that I'll get a good response. Yeah.
What's your take on this whole woke culture?
See, that's why I said left right gets all crossed. Left went into becoming a right version of left. It became madness.
Left became
So
a right.
you're going left, you're saying inclusive, 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 and then you go berserk, right? Identify as a gorilla's baby toe. I mean, where do you draw the line? It's gone berserk. People have, gone to extreme, and then out of fear, everybody's scared to call you anything. How do you identify? So you start having conversations. How do you identify yourself? Forget race, religion, and all that. That's not dead. We're talking about how do you identify yourself, as in which out of the 106 gender types, and if it's a instrument or something like a plastic bottle, and if they started doing things like that. So
Yeah.
There was this lady who said she was a cat. And so the school in America, so they accepted her as a cat.
Yeah, the America's crazy.
I'm like, hello, you come here to get an education. I mean, really?
Yeah, really.
So that's when it gets corrupted. Anything gets corrupted, right?
Yeah.
You go to extreme with it, it gets corrupted. So now I don't know, I've lost interest. So maybe I grew up as a leftist. My aunt is Olga Teles, very much communist. But that's gone from my body now. I don't know what I am.
You don't know what
I'm
you
just a sick Indian male who hates everything.
You hate everything.
Hate. I'm a hater. I wake up in the morning and my daughter's becoming like me, she's 18. We hate everything. We see people on the road, we hate them for no reason sometimes.
Really?
Yeah. And Indian men stare a lot. And I
Yeah.
walk my dogs all my life. So, I'm always fighting on the road. Because I'm always staring at people. Half the time they recognize me and I don't realize it. So I go, हाँ, क्या हो गया? Hello, sir. And then I go, I'm such a fraud, I overcompensate. How are you? And all that. So once I got into a fight at the Oval where I walk my dogs with one guy who all he did is, just like racism, my small dog went close and he just moved his, like it's like a tiger. So I started my normal dialogue, but kya, sher nahi hai, kutta hai. And, huh? So the little like that happened when we got closer. He said, take selfie. So my daughter watched this whole thing and said, Dad, you're a full fraud. Because then after that, hand over the guy, calling Mary. He's trying to touch the dog, but he's still scared. Oh, God, I'm ready for politics. I've got no sincerity left in my body. It's just gone.
Oh my God.
I woke up one morning and I have no honesty left, just honestly.
Cyrus in politics, which side would you join?
The thing is, I don't speak, if my Hindi was good enough, or my Marathi was good enough, or even a Gujarati, anything I could have fought. You can't talk in English.
If you joined politics, which party would you join? Whoever just gave you a good
See, right now I'm a little disillusioned with the parties and all, because what happens is, after some time, it doesn't look like anybody's manifesto is very clear, to be honest. One party is just going against the other party seems to be just, they've got this one leader and they just follow and that's it. So maybe it's time for the Parsi Sena to raise itself.
Parsi Sena! And you're going to captain
Membership
them,
at the moment is 3, but hey, you start somewhere.
You and?
No, I'm outside.
You're
I'm remote controlled, remember that?
Aha, you're the kingmaker.
Kingmaker, yeah.
Kingmaker, that's a position you should have.
I think Kunal should go into politics because he looks like a politician.
He does.
Kunal inherently looks corrupt. You look at Kunal's face, you're like, he's taken a bribe. You just look at his face and you know there's bribe written there. Poor Kunal, he's done so much work in terms of different, looks from...
Lata Mangeshkar.
Yeah, all the women, Mayawati, all the way down to, Karunanidhi, Sharad Pawar, Nitin Gadkari, I mean, so many. And even Gopal. Gopal is, because Kunal doesn't do North Indian accents. So all that goes to Gopal. But Gopal looks like a man. Kunal is actually fluid. So he plays everything. But I'm saying, I wish one day he'd get the respect because after 17 years of playing so many things in different avatars, it's really a lot of work.
No, you all need to get that show back on air.
Yeah, but some of the politicians are no more. So we can't do those. We have to live with the times, whoever's there now.
There are many others, many others who will make for great television. We really want that show back on
they make for
air.
great television,
Yeah,
They do.
But you've never gone to trouble for imitating politicians?
No,
and
actually, we met them at events and all. They've always been, both sides, the big two parties, have been very, they've made fun. And Nitin Gadkari was telling Kunal in Marathi, of course, that, I saw your episode, but it did not look like me. You have become too fat. He's telling him. He had lost weight. To be honest, Nitin Gadkari had lost weight. He's a very charming guy.
He is.
Very charming guy. And Kunal, of course, in reality is not charming. So you know what to say. He's asking me, do you think he's angry? He's not angry. He's making fun of you, you idiot. He's the comedian. You're not. Yeah. Then we had
that's really funny.
26/11, the tribute thing a year or two later at the Oberoi, and I got very scared because they just put something on Chidambaram. I'd done that thing where we cut paste the answers. So poor fellow, his answers and my questions don't match. And so I was a little worried because all kinds of naughty things in that. But he came and he put his hand on me and he said, I love the episode. No, really. So
that's great.
They actually have a lot of, I spent a whole flight with Sheila Dikshit going to Thailand while she was chief minister when show was on. And she was like she was so sweet.
Yeah.
I mean, you forget that she's the chief minister because the 5 bodyguards came onto the thing, all, thousands of people. But then she was left alone in business class with just one PA. And the other people had to move into economy for whatever reason.
Oh.
So I was sitting with I went and said hello. Then we chatted.
How lovely.
And she was like, she speaks perfect English. And she reminds you of your aunt of yours in your family or something. And could speak about any subject. She's a very intelligent woman.
Yeah.
I had a great time.
I believe she
I
was
would have done a
wonderful
million
lady.
on hers. Where I became a fan when I came back, and then of course she lost the next election after meeting me.
After meeting you, are you the Panvati?
I think so.
Oh
Yeah, be
God.
careful. Whose names have we mentioned? Be careful. Don't go back. Yeah.
A lot of politicians have a good sense of humor, actually.
They do. They do. That's
Yeah.
why they're in politics. They're laughing at you. So who else?
Who else said?
Sonia, I wanted to meet in India today. Atal Bihari Vajpayee I met. This before. This was in 1998. Just an MTV early years before we started the show, and we were at the India Today conclave, and he was Prime Minister, but every important person was there with their bodyguards inside and everything. And so two of the boys, MTV marketing guys, said, we'll go and say hello. So they set it up. You still had to, even in the party, go through people. So, hello, sir. Sir, yes, Cyrus Broacha, anchor, VJ. By the way, he speaks perfect English, but we spoke to him in Hindi for some reason. And so he said, हाँ ठीक है बेटा क्या करता है बेटा let me do my Atal. बेटा करता है क्या So I said, sir, VJ, क्या है वो I said, sir, we do the music or music दिखाते हैं and then we present it. Achha, not impressed. He's met a nuclear scientist here. He's met a head of a huge industry there. He's met, a Nobel Prize winner behind. I mean, an idiot VJ whose name he's never heard. So then he gives me a pat on the back, which I felt very good. Great personality, Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Patted me on the back and they left because everybody wants his time. So our time was over. Now, after about 20-40 minutes, he was walking and I was passing by and we met, our eyes met. So I said, little bit of, pehchana, sir. He looks at me and says, beta. I said, wow, he wants to talk to me again. Pani pila do. He thought I was a waiter.
No
Then
way.
I realized I was in a black suit and white shirt and wo jo catering log jo the wahan pe, black shoe. No, it's not his fault. It's fine. I got the water. And I also feel in India, many of them are actually funny, easygoing, and don't take themselves as seriously as people think. I'm not supporting them. They've done some great bad things as well. But it's the sycophants under them which is the problem. And this is also corporate India or anywhere, films, wherever. The big guy is never really the problem. You can't get to them because you're dealing with these sycophants and chamchas who take offense. तूने sir के खिलाफ कुछ बोला and all that.
Yeah,
Sir doesn't know who you are. Sir thinks you're a waiter. Sir doesn't know you exist. Sir can't say your name. He's never heard MTV. He's never heard VJ. He's a VJ. Am I from the south with a different pronunciation? What is his name? So it's completely all over the place. It's the sycophants who are like, तूने क्या किया?
Okay, lastly, Cyrus, how have you stayed relevant?
First, I don't think I'm relevant at all. I've never bothered with all that. Not to be arrogant, but I don't know. I think Quran and I fight over this, but he's always trying to, what do the youth think? What do they think? I don't care. I think, why do we care? We just do our thing. How can we sit down like it's a marketing thing where we must reach out to 19-year-olds? I don't care about 19-year-olds. I didn't care about them when I was 19. Why should I care now? I'm saying we have a
show.
But I don't want to deliberately make you watch the show. Don't watch the show. I don't, honestly, without being arrogant, I don't care. I want to have fun, have a conversation. You find the people interesting. A podcast is a lot of it is time pass. So you listen to it and that's it. If you enjoy the chemistry, the conversation, whatever, fine. And if you don't, you don't. I'm not going to make a show for 19-year-olds. I have to put these 3 points in. Hey, 19-year-olds, they are all interested in tight jeans. So let's only talk about that. I mean, come on.
So you're unapologetically yourself. You don't cater to one
I'm saying there's no
specific
science
market.
to this. It's just ridiculous. The youth will anyway target youth icons and younger people as when we were younger, we had a younger audience or whatever. It's the way of the world. Why does it matter? Why get complex about all these things? But I don't want to jabardasti ask her. My daughter has no respect for me. She's 18. How can I suddenly say, 18-year-olds should follow my show? All my daughter, I mean, it's ridiculous, the lack of respect. After some time, I think this whole age thing is overrated as only this for this and this for that. I think we are tied by a common likes. For example, you like animals or bodybuilding or things that I like, for example. You'll start, gravitating towards me because there'll be 4 or 5 things that we all like together. And that's it.
Well, let's hope Cyrus stays timeless.
Don't bother. It doesn't matter. Find something else to do. I'll become a broker. I heard in Delhi, 6% they're getting brokerage. Mumbai, 2%. Where is 6%. 6% in Delhi. And in Delhi, nothing is complete. It's even better than India. You sell it, the building is only half there. After 2 years, it's even less there.
Okay.
Not more.
Cyrus in his new avatar
6%.
as a broker. Okay, so either we're going to see you on Netflix or Amazon Prime next or as a property broker.
I'll get Amazon Prime a new building to work out of. I'll promise them.
Okay. On that note, thank you so much.
Also in India,
Cyrus.
should we say Amazon or Amazon? Amazon.
Amazon.
North में Amazon will happen. It'll be Amazon, but as you go to different parts, it'll become Amazon. I'm sure some part of India it'll be Amjon.
I'm John.
Yeah. How are you? I'm John.
How would we say it in Mumbai?
Mumbai, our part of Mumbai, since we think we are British or they're British fathers, we will say Amazon. But as you go down towards Lokhandwala, it'll start changing. Yeah. You should get Puneet on to tell you Kandivli stories. The difference between Kandivli West and Kandivli East.
Really?
What do you think? Humanity is so bad. You have a Hindu, Muslim, fat, thin, everything is a problem. Black, white.
Yeah.
What about, where are we going to stop? We'll never stop. It will be Kandivli West versus East. There's no
God.
stopping to divisions in society. It's in our nature. I'm telling you, if we were all the same, one religion, one race, one height, one weight, we'll fight over left hand, right hand. We'll find something. We'll just divide the world.
You're right. We'll always find
That's why
something.
Animals always. Stick with animals. Much better relationship.
Stick
Really.
with animals.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
Next time you come on the show with your dogs.
I'll come with the dogs, but next time don't mention Aisha, na, because I take 2 days to recover. Every time. Have you ever met her?
I have.
Really?
Briefly. Yeah.
And you don't feel fear?
Most of the time I only see you with Kunal, but I
When
have
we were
met
drinking, it was a real problem because she didn't like us going out and all in the night, etc. It's a long story.
Aisha. Okay.
Yeah. Oof. I hope you never met her then.
No, I'm not
Then
sure.
it's fine. Now it's okay. Now she doesn't care anymore. She hardly remembers my name. I carry my Aadhaar card to show her. Otherwise, she won't know who I am. She's very strict that way. You can talk about Nitin Gadkari, Sheila Dikshit, all these names. You can throw at her. She has no idea. Okay.
No idea.
South Bombay women, very different. I mean, the world, we can have 15 elections also. What election? Like that.
Okay, but you're going to enter politics or you're going to become a property broker, and I look forward to that because I will definitely campaign for you.
I want a Rajya Sabha nomination. I feel I'm happier there. The canteen is better. Milind is there. I'll be good. Yeah. I don't want to. This youth na Lok Sabha is not for me, yaar.
And thank you, Cyrus. I have to now go for a wedding function.
Okay. So why going now? It's I think it's 12:30 in the afternoon when we're recording this. What function are you going for? Evening, na?
It's a lunch function.
Oh shoot! Like a Sangeet in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Drinking and food and all that, or just a religious thing.
No, it's not a religious thing. Drinking and.
Oh, what a life!
It is Saturday anyway.
38% of Indians don't make over 3,000 rupees a month. Today she will eat worth 40,000 rupees in just one plate because that's how they charge. Where's the function?
It's at someone's house.
Where's the house?
Alderman Road.
Oh, where Mr. Ambani lives. Oh, must be a poor guy, relatively. What a complex you'll have living in Alderman Road, no? Because you wake up, you see Antilla, you see all that, but you're super successful, 7 Series, BMW and all that, and you're nothing. You leave, I'll just carry on. I can see your body language. This happens all the time.
No.
So please go.
Okay, I'm going.
Yeah.